Are we live? Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Friday, and we're
The
here on
13th.
Defenders of Cobalt. Oh, yeah, the 13th.
Oh shit!
Oh my
The
gosh.
spooky number.
Oh,
All weird hockey masks.
Oh no!
they're in my basement. Sorry, I forgot to bring them.
You fart.
The hockey masks, the machetes, or the teenagers?
Yes.
All of them.
Pick two. But yeah, it's Friday. Be okay. That means we're playing Anvea, the system that I'm making and dragging you guys through for free labor as playtesters. It's good. We had a few people missing last time, so we'll do a little bit of a recap too. It's basically just a lot of like logistics and planning and talking on where you guys are going to go next time. You spoke a lot to Matthias, which was the name of the knight guy that you spared, who had been working with Rometh, the seemingly corrupt cultist inquisitor guy. I guess 2 sessions ago, you had run into Rometh's hand and other limbs detaching themselves, trying to go and retrieve his casting focus from Chuck's bag.
Mm-hmm.
And you followed it back to the inn that his body was at. You prevented that. And then when you talked to Matthias, he had spoken with some more people around town and stuff. He heard like how they all had to fight the shadow monster things, and is got a lot more proof that there's some shady things going on with his people that he wasn't really aware of. And he took all that knowledge and decided to march back to his superiors and tell them, stop it. So that's going to go well, probably.
I do have an observation.
Yes.
That an alternate pronunciation of Matthias's name could be Matthias.
Could be.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Also with that, you guys had Deegan traveling with you, who was one of the people from the East Lock initiative that tried to ambush you and make you basically slave labor to dig a big trench to lock off the deep basin from the rest of the continent. But you stopped that. And you also spared Deegan, but killed everybody else part of his crew. He's been traveling with you, but he's been a little depressed being like out of touch with his magic. He still has these shackles on that interrupt his connection to the Mara. So he's not able to do any casting or anything.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. When you first talked to him, it definitely seemed like he cared about his life a lot more than getting the shackles off. So he's very cooperative, especially after you executed the other guy, like right next to him.
He brought that on himself.
Yeah.
He did. But yeah. So Deegan's been traveling with you, though. Thais pointed out that these shackles that Deegan is wearing originated from Kethris, where Matthias and the Inquisitors are from. So there seems to be some business or trade between the Eastlock Initiative and Kethris people. And Matthias said, like, oh, I'm sure people I know and contacts I have up in Kethris would be able to get those off for you. So Deegan decided to set off with Matthias. They are heading off like on their own on horseback, going up to Kethris ahead of you guys. And I think you guys decided that you were going to follow. That you're going to go kind of at your own pace in case you got sidetracked and stuff. And then another thing is that John, your character, did a contact test, first one of the campaign, to see if you knew anybody or had any strong roots up in the north, and you did well. So you have like a good group of friends up there that you're pretty well established with, and you told Deegan that he could crash with them. Just say your name, and they'll take you in. Once Matthias definitely, totally doesn't run into any problems dealing with all the corruption in his order off by himself. So it'll go good. And from there, you guys set out. You were just a little bit behind Matthias and Deegan, but the two of them traveling on horseback without anything else, and you guys traveling by ox and your giant cart, which you invested in a little bit to make it a little bit more like a petting zoo. I think that was the goal, was like you were going to try and have like a full-on petting zoo look by the time you arrived. That was going to be like your cover or something. So you're traveling along the road with that. Yeah, definitely not the primary thing that you guys do. It's all an act.
It is.
We don't care at all.
But yeah, then we ended the session with you guys sitting out. You had traveled a little bit.
I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. You guys had traveled for a little bit. I forget if I said it had been like, I think it had been about a day into your travel when the road forked and it went off to the side to the Minton Brewery. And you had heard of this place before. It was a little bit semi-famous in the area, especially before everything was it's like a pretty long, well-known established. It's been around for like hundreds of years. But you looked off to the side. You saw it had been a little bit dilapidated. You didn't really see anyone there. It's kind of fallen to ruin a bit. But it's also kind of surrounded by this weird swamp that didn't seem to fit in. Like it's not really any lakes or rivers or anything that runs through the area. So it was a little weird to see this place being swampy. And while you were kind of looking at that, you also heard and saw a vulture-like creature fly above your head that seemed to match the description of the thing that killed your good friend Ballastar and ate his face.
They have tubular beaks.
Really, I would say it more melon balled him.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a good pun in there. What with how they got his brain.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The melon.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened. But yeah, so that's where we're going to pick it up. You guys are pretty much right at the fork in this road. You see this brewery. I would say off the top of your head, if this place hasn't been looted before, anything that's left over, any of their like old stock and stuff, would probably sell for a good amount of money. And the vulture thing landed on this like hill that was a little bit behind the brewery. It's not like roosting in the brewery. So perhaps if you're quiet enough or something, it won't notice you or care. Or you can just continue on and keep going to the next town.
You know, Punky Rooster does have a bit of a drinking problem. So we should swing by the brewery. Yeah, to
we should encourage their drinking problem.
No, we should just keep them in a good mood.
Okay. More of that,
Yeah. Same difference.
It's not to encourage, it's to satisfy.
Yeah.
I have a plan to deal with that one bird. The rest of them, assuming there are more, we might be screwed by. But that one, I think we should wait inside the cage, except for one of us, outside of the cage, and then throws a rock at the bird. And then that person runs back into the cage. And then when the bird gets close, we kill it.
Okay. Which sauce did you get? I'm going to guess he said Mambo.
They gave me both. Mambo sucks. Spicy's good.
Spicy jelly's good.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Mambo sauce not good?
No. It tastes like just all those things mixed together.
That's too bad. Spicy jelly's good, though.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to try it.
How big are the bar? The bars.
I thought we were still talking about the sauce. I'm like, it's just their standard sauce packet size. Yeah.
So this cart that you have is like designed to be, it's like a prison kind of cart for holding people of all like halflings, gnomes, and stuff too. So the bars are like pretty close together.
Okay. So in theory, it wouldn't have an easy time to poke its beak in.
Probably not. No.
Okay.
If it tried, that would be.
I mean, the size of the hole in Alistar's had is definitely wider than
yeah.
the bars.
Well, I have this here. They call it a goon. That. And I mean, I think it shoots pretty far. I could try to shoot it from here.
Oh.
I could shoot it from within the cage.
Well, I think we've got 2 of those, don't we?
Might.
We could all just get in the cage and just
take shots at them. Yeah, I like that.
The problem is that Michael J. Ox won't fit in the cage.
Yep.
That is true.
And with the ground being pretty swampy and marshy, it'd be hard to bring the cart through the muck like to the brewery. It would probably get stuck from what you see. There's like lots of places where there's kind of standing water where water is like the ground's too saturated to even absorb it.
Yeah, you can't see
which
the bottom.
again
You
is
don't want to go in it.
very odd. It seems to be like in a circle around this brewery that there's just this swamp.
Is this brewery making swamp?
It might be.
Looks that way.
Just swampery.
Definitely doesn't fit the surrounding area.
When you guys should taste
it's kind of like sparse
swamp.
trees and plains and stuff around, but here it's very swampy.
Yeah, when you guys should taste the swamp to see if there's any alcohol in
it. I think we've got 3 volunteers. Oh, Dan's muted.
Oh,
I'm muted. I was saying not it. I just expected you all to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, seeing as how my characters all have some sort of motif, yeah, I'll taste the swamp.
Okay. Jake is always the one that ingests the weirdest stuff in my campaigns. I remember
if you have any poison in it.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's right there.
He drank the vomit of like, who was it? It was like someone that got
poisoned. Yeah.
It was like a wizard or something that he dusted it by ingesting. Yeah. So
does this
drink the water?
Taste bizarre?
The water tastes surprisingly clean.
Huh.
You don't really taste any like alcohol in it, but the just tastes like abnormally clean. It's like really good drinking water.
No,
they'd make their beer from the finest of the swamp waters then.
Yes, that's possibly it.
This is their swamp.
So
I'll fill up a flask full of this stuff because, hey, could come in handy later.
What are you doing in my drinking swamp?
So should we go in on foot and try to get this here, alcohol, or you just want to go around this?
I mean, we are here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we can go up by foot and see, if we lay low, then hopefully the thing won't notice us.
There is the brewery too. So like if your goal was to fight it inside of a structure or something, like
we could do it from the brewery.
There's also, it's a little dilapidated. There's like parts of it that are a little bit broken up, but it's still standing enough, and it's in like pretty swampy water too. So it looked like if it was too shabby, it probably would have already collapsed.
So Joe, just so I'm picturing it correctly, given the size of the hole that it can make in one's head, it itself is probably quite a large bird.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It'd probably be like if it was sitting with its like wings out, its height would be about like a dwarf.
Okay. Not too big. Not too bad.
Not like gigantic, but for a bird, very, very big.
Still enough to hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot that I had art for.
Look at that.
Oh.
So fancy.
It is.
I could not get it to generate a little hill mountain behind it, but picture there's like a little bit of a hill mountain thing.
Yeah.
A little bit of a ways away. With like, you can see there's like lots of shrubbery and stuff that's kind of been pulled together. Maybe like there's a nest up there.
Okay.
I like it.
That's what you see. All right, so you guys are moving up.
Yeah.
Can't taste this water all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, but I mean,
there and kind of like the picture too. There's little bits where there's moss or algae kind of growing into it, but there are lots of little spots where it's just very clear water. As you approach, there's also like lots of really overgrown trees and stuff that are kind of in there. So every so often you'll kind of snag your foot on a root here or there. You get pretty close to the brewery, and you see little ripples in the water coming from like the supports of this brewery. Like something's moving around inside.
Like underneath the brewery?
Something is shaking, like either in it or underneath it. Something attached to the structure is like moving a little bit because there's ripples that are like coming from where the beams and the wood of this structure is like touching the water.
Could be their distillery. I suppose we could investigate.
We have no idea how long this has been going on. Maybe there are survivors in there.
Could be.
That is true.
True.
Yeah.
They have plenty of
clean
drinking
lights
water.
or anything. You also don't see like any smoke or anything from like a chimney, but
well, I mean, if that thing's been lurking here for a while, might not want to give any indication that they're there.
Could be for sure.
I'll have my axe handy just in case shenanigans go down, and I'll get ready.
Yeah, and I'll say too. So as you approach, you see there's kind of like 3 sections to this brewery. There's a water treatment part, a bottling part, and a like tavern part. So like one place where they would kind of serve all their drinks and things, probably do sales and such. One where they would process all their water, and then one like kind of probably that bigger building there in the image is like the actual bottling part where it's a lot of their storage and stuff. So each of those have exterior doors. You could enter at any one of those.
How close is this place to like the nearest town or settlement?
About a day away.
So, I mean, usually you have a bar close enough to attract locals. So I would imagine they've probably also got rooms in this thing too.
So you would know that like this bar predates when the or this brewery predates the whole like thing that happened in the East. And there were probably nearby towns that haven't survived. So current day towns that lived through all that, there's not one within a day. Like there's about one a day away from where you came from and one a day away past this.
Okay.
There would be like, there's not quite like an inn, but there's definitely like living quarters for people that work there and live there. It's because it was probably owned by like a family or something, so their little place that they lived in would be attached to that. But wherever that is, doesn't seem to have like an exterior door to it.
Do we know any like lore about this place? I mean, a place that old seems like there'd be legends about it or something.
Something known about it. Like maybe they make a good beer.
Yeah.
Pilsner. Is that a word? Pilsner.
It is.
Anyone wants to do?
I hope that's not the one that they make.
Pretty much everything I've said is stuff that you guys know off the top of your head. But if anyone wants to dig more into it, you can definitely do like a lore test.
Okay, I'll do a lore test.
See if you know anything.
Would this be common or occult? For background, or
this would be common or wild.
No.
I'll take those 2 successes.
Not bad.
2 6s. Okay. So some things you would know. The Minton Brewery is named after a talking cat that seemed to live either. They said that it lived forever, but people would always have this kind of debate, like, were they just replacing the cat with the exact same breed and it like looked the same, or did they have some way to keep the cat alive? Because it was a talking cat, so that there's already some magic or mysticism going on there. So that was a big buzz about the place, is that they had this cat, and that's kind of what it's named after. You would also know that there was a leshy employed here, a cypress tree that the sap that they make and stuff was part of the flavor of the beers in the brewery.
Okay.
I feel confident that would not be FDA approved.
Yeah.
Probably not. And you would also know that they had, you know that they used, because like where they were located and there's not any rivers or lakes or anything, they had their own like enchanted kind of wells installed. There's a lot of magic that was put into raising like well water from super deep underneath the ground. I suspect that might be why a lot of the water is here. It's just like those never got turned off, and they've just been dribbling water forever.
Okay.
Why the swamp is so tasty.
Yes.
Probably, yeah. Hey, do this, but I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, let's carefully move up because there's something in the water.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, seemed to be something moving somewhere.
Jacob left because this is now a water level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that checks out. That honestly seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be right back off now.
Like most of the water, the deepest you guys have seen it as you're walking in is like about ankle height. So, all right. And again, there's like the three entrances. So there's kind of the bottling part, there's the water treatment bit, and the brewery, like kind of main entrance.
I think
is there any particular?
Probably whichever one requires. Yeah, as I was say, whichever one requires the least water to get to. Yeah.
And so that main entrance would be kind of like that front corner on the picture where you see there's a little staircase that's leading out of the water up there. There's a little bit of like a deck or patio there. There's lots of moss and vines and things that have kind of overgrown this whole place. There's a lot of windows that have been all smashed out and things, but there's little bits of glass here and there in it. As you step up and you're kind of creaking along the wood there, you hear this like really heavy, just very soft and from inside.
Are there any windows that we can like peer up into?
Yeah. It looks like there was a pretty big like shop window that looked inside along the side. There's lots of like branches and vines and things that have kind of grown into it, but there's definitely enough gaps so you can peek your head in. It's pretty dark. Let's see. I'd say you can either give like an observe or a conceal if you're like, I would say like observe to try and quickly look at something, or conceal to like do it in a way that you're buying yourself more time by being kind of stealthy, so you can have like,
I'll do an observe.
Okay.
One success.
All right. Yeah. One success. So you peer in. It's pretty dark in there and makes it a little bit hard to see. So you have to like look a bit before the light adjusts. And there's a few places where the roof is kind of opened up, so you see a few like streams of light coming in, and every so often the dust seems to move a bit in the room from that thudding. And you don't really see what's moving at first because it blends in pretty well, but you see there seems to be a massive overgrown leshy that's just lumbering through the shop, and it seems to be muttering something kind of low under its breath. You can't really make out what it's saying. It's just kind of, it's got this very, very low, deep, grudgy voice. You hear its body creaking as it's walking around. You see too, it's got dozens and dozens of these small little metal taps that have been like driven into it, and they each have dried sap in them. They're kind of like dried up like scabs. It's like this deep red sap.
Oh, he's been drained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seems like a cruel thing to do to a leshy.
Yeah.
Indeed.
They're rummaging around a bit.
Well, should we go in here?
They're not necessarily, immediately hostile, right?
Could be.
They're sentient.
Yeah, leshy can be friendly for sure. They're not super common, especially the farther east you go, the least common they are. Farther west you go, especially when you get pretty close to the Duskwood area, very common. But out here, not as much.
Well, I suppose I could try to speak with it rationally.
Yeah.
If they decide rationality should give way to violence, I would hope that you would respond with more violence.
Yeah, then we violence it.
Yeah, I'll punch it.
Okay.
I'll punch
Maximum violence.
I'll kind of just hang out by the window where we can see it from.
Sure.
And I'll have my my sword ready.
Yeah, and I'll say now that's been pointed out to you, and you know what to look for. You don't really need to make a roll or anything. You're able to just peer through and see what's going on inside. Jake,
I'll go around
inside.
to the front door and knock politely.
Okay. You see, there's kind of like these saloon kind of doors, and it looks like there was a heavier door that would kind of close behind them, or I guess behind them, and that's been open and kind of knocked off its side. So there's these little swinging saloon type doors. One of them's kind of off and hanging down a little bit and hitting the back of one. You're able to look inside and see that.
I'll open the one that's kind of crooked behind the other one and knock on it a little bit. Hopefully, let my presence be known.
Yeah. As you do that, you knock and it squeaks pretty horrendously, as the metal is pretty old and rusted at this point. It seems like it hasn't bent that far in a while. And with that, the movement kind of stops and you hear this creaking and snapping. There's vines and things that have grown over this leshy too that are not a part of its body, and those are kind of snapping and breaking off of it as it's bending a little bit more than it looks like it has in a while. And it looks at you. It's got this very overgrown mossy eyebrows and beard. It says, "Minton have kill Minton," and takes a step towards you. The ground kind of creaks.
Well, actually, my name is Ahab Living Sherman. I was here to just explore historical sites, and I happened to see Hugh here, and I was wondering if maybe you could use some help. You seem to be rather sore there.
Speak slower.
My apologies. Are you hurt?
Miss Minton.
I see. I'll look out the window and I'll
he pushes his hand out to point. His arm creaks and cracks a little bit. And he points at this poster on the wall. And you see Minton Brewery, home of Minton. And you see this cat that's up on like a barrel. They've got this very like elaborate kind of collar. It looks like their fur is very, very well groomed. They're like all white and pretty long haired. It's got like all this other things there. And then you see there's like a very happy looking thin leshy tree in the background that's like smiling. And it's got a tap on one of its hands holding a bottle. That seems to be like the poster of the old brewery. He says, Minton missing.
Oh boy. Where was Minton last?
Here.
Well, I should have known that.
Haven't heard jingle. Miss Minton.
Where does Minton sleep?
Here. And he starts walking. He's a little bit bigger than the doorways. He's just kind of breaking wood away as he's moving through the house. And he steps towards the back. He doesn't say like to follow or anything, but kind of is implying it looks like he's just starting to walk towards the back.
I'll follow along. As I do, I'll look out.
The rest of you see Al like following this thing. It's talking pretty loudly now, so you're all able to hear it even from outside. And I'm sure Al is talking loud enough that you hear what he's saying too. But yeah, you see it like disappear. It's breaking away chunks of the doorways as it's walking through them and walks towards the back behind the bar, kind of. Or not behind the bar shelf, but like around behind where the bar would be. Al's following them along.
Yes. I will.
What's anyone else doing?
I am going to sneak follow up. That way Al's not like alone.
Sure.
Probably just kind of hang a little ways back.
Yeah.
Just keep them at the edge of sight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll say you could pretty comfortably stay back, but depending on like how close you want to be and stealthing, I'll make you roll a conceal test.
But if you're not trying to hang close at all, far, then just okay. If he goes around a corner I can't see, just
like that.
Just like that.
Yeah, that works. So yeah, he walks around the corner there, Jake, and he turns and he looks in the hallway, and you see that there's like old shelves and things. This seems to be like where they stored food and bottles for like immediate service to the front room. And you see there's like a big couch in the back that's got like this really nice embroidered pillow that's been kind of torn up a little bit. Looks like a cat's had at it quite a lot. It's pretty old too. It's very like faded. But you see like that seems to be where Minton used to be. And he points his finger at that. Minton sleep. No here, Minton. No see, Minton.
Minton sleeping forever.
Gone for several weeks.
Ooh.
Several weeks is better than several decades.
That's true. I will help look, but no promises.
He nods his head and creaks at that.
Hey, Al, ask him if we can crash here while we're looking.
If the search takes long, may I sleep here?
He nods his head. Yes.
One moment. I'll bring help. And I'll step outside to the others and I'll say, okay, we can crash here for a while. I'm going to put up some pretenses of looking for a missing cat. if you do happen to see a cat that looks like something from that poster over there, just say, hi, Al, look, a dead cat. I would appreciate that.
What if the cat's not dead?
A cat.
Hey, Al, look, a cat.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Just like that. Perfect.
Excellent. We have our plan. I'll head back, and I'll start looking around the cat room to see if there's any sort of anything standing out that would be unusual for a cat's immediate dwelling.
Sure. Yeah, you could make like, let's see, whatever you'd feel like would fit. I'd say like a discern test would probably work.
Discern sounds good.
While he's doing, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, overhearing this, Lanan is going to look around outside, and I'll use my cantrip for discern, see if I see anything. I'm also I'm intrigued why the giant buzzard bird thing is hanging out here when there's not really a lot of people coming through.
Maybe he likes the water?
Could be nesting.
It does look like there was a nest from what you saw.
I'll be danged. A success with 3 dice.
Nice.
All right. I'll say, Jake, so you definitely see like white puffs of fur everywhere. It hasn't like decayed. Like it looks like it's been here recently. It's not,
not crispy.
Right. It still's got like color to it, and so it seems like it's been there. It looks like there are lots of dead like rat carcasses and things here and there, like small critters, birds, types of things that cats often catch and eat. That seems to be how it's been sustaining itself. Other than that, there's not really much you see like at their bed. But you get further evidence that like the cat was recently here, has been eating here, seems to have been living here. So his him saying weeks isn't him being crazy, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Well, I suppose I'll keep up pretenses at least, and I'll reconvene with the others and affirm that yes, indeed, there is a living cat that was here alive very recently.
It's encouraging.
Yeah, I got 2 successes on a push, Joe, for discern outside.
Okay. Yeah. And you're just looking for like traces of this cat, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
You found the cat.
So yeah, with you,
I found a cat.
Looking around.
Oh,
you did find a cat.
Success.
I found him.
One thing you'll notice that there are, you see like more puffs of like fur here and there outside, more dead animal carcasses, small animal carcasses like birds and rats, mice. You have like a few snakes here and there. And as you're looking around, though, the thing that sticks out to you quite a lot is you see there's a few pretty deep gashes in the wood that seem to be from like talons or claws or something. You see that in a few places up on the roof, and you see that in a few places along this like front deck, kind of right at the edge of the water. At one, you see there's like 2 deep gouges where talons might have been, a few puffs of white fur, and then this weird like circular gouge in the wood.
That dang bird thing's been fighting with the cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we gotta kill it.
Yeah, I think we do.
We have to kill it.
Are there any looking around the tavern area? Any dry-ish places where we could store the carts in the wagon for the night?
Not so. If you looked around, you wouldn't run into anyone else. Like there's this whole brewery. If you were, I think the first place you'd probably go if you're looking for like a big spot would be this bottling area.
Yeah.
And there is like a raised floor in the bottling area, and it looks like normally it stores lots of boxes and things, but it's been kind of hollowed out. So it's a pretty big open interior area. It would be possible to store the cart here. It'd be a little bit hard to get it there. It's not impossible, but it would probably take quite a while to like wheel it through swampy water and stuff.
I mean, yeah, if we're going to be here for any amount of time, I would like to get our cart somewhere and our animals somewhere secure. And then also, presumably, if there's booze here, it would be nice to have the cart here so we could load it up.
Yeah. Yeah. And with you guys having an ox now, it'd be a lot easier for you guys to do this probably than having the horses before.
We could
so
ask Tree Dude to help us too.
Good.
Could do that.
That's possible.
Well, I'll go ask him.
Yes.
More fleshy ones.
Hello.
Yes. They have animals. May we keep them dry there? And I'll point out the window towards the bottling area.
And as he looks over, he says, if fine Dementon, yes.
Okay.
Could we keep them here while we're looking for Mitten?
He takes a little bit, but he nods his head. Fine Dementon.
Could you help us get our wagon through the swamp?
And he looks and says, wagon?
Yeah. We got a lot of animals.
Wood box wheels.
I suppose. He offers to help.
Nice. Okay.
Thanks.
Someone should stay behind and start do an inventory of everything we may want to take with us. And maybe a person or two should tag along with me and Treebeard here to work on getting the wagon back over.
I was actually going to be looking at the place to see if there are any windows that face out towards the bird.
Okay. Well,
there are a few. So there's not an external door to kind of like the back quadrant of this all these buildings are kind of smashed together. But the back quadrant is kind of where it looks like the family house was. And it has a few bigger windows on the back side that aren't pointed directly at this hill to the back, but you're able to see up there. And being this further back, you see there is like kind of a big matted up like brush and tree branches and things that have been made into this nest that you can kind of see poking over the edge at the top of this hill.
Okay.
Yeah, you would definitely notice that. You don't see any other people. Also, as you're looking around too, you would see like on these posters that it looks like this Leshy's name is Cypress.
I was going to ask what his name was.
Cypress, and there's a hill nearby. I see what you're doing, Joe.
I do too.
What?
There's Cypress Hill reference.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
It's
mercifully this one is not.
Only there was a membrane that was insane.
I don't know. I picked cypress because it's a swamp tree that has red sap.
Okay.
That's fair.
Makes sense.
And apparently it's sweet enough that I don't think it would make sense to put in ale, but magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
It explains so many things.
Yeah. That's just what we call magic.
So, yeah, Cypress would follow you out. He'd follow you back to the cart. He moves pretty slowly. But especially like once he's in the water, he seems to be moving pretty slowly. And every so often he like mutters kind of slowly under his breath, and he's almost like he's stopping to talk to the trees around him. But he does eventually get out to the cart.
All right.
About time.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Okay.
We tried.
That's fine.
Viewing material for after the stream for Joe.
Yeah, I'll catch up on that after.
It really just screams to me as Joe music.
Okay. Probably not, then.
Probably not. No, not at all. I don't think they use any math while figuring out their musicalness.
No metal. I'm not interested.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cypress follows you out. They seem to talk to the ox too, a little bit. The ox like seems to acknowledge Cypress. It seemed to be a little antsy about traveling through the swamp before, but Cypress is able to kind of help talk it through that. And they begin to slowly trudge this through. Cypress is at the back, like kind of pushing through. His arms and things kind of like change shape a little bit to fit the back of this cart as he's pushing along. They're able to get it. Probably takes about an hour for them to do this. It's not a huge distance, but it is pretty slow, and it's like mucky water and stuff. But eventually they get it pushed up, and it is now parked inside of that storage part of the brewery.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. It seems to be like this part of the brewery was like a dock for people to put carts into, like carriage it out to like other cities and things.
Makes sense.
So
I'd be curious to look and see if we can turn off the water flow.
Yeah, for sure. So you go over to that part and you see there are there's like lots of moss and things in this part of there, and like lots of weird kind of plants, stuff growing. Lots of weird. I looked at the name of these, but I can't remember. There's like these weird flowers that grow in swamps that are pretty tall. Those
grass.
There's like a ton of those. Yeah, grass.
No,
grass.
Anything but that.
Yeah, let's just say some swamp grass, magic swamp grass. But you see there's like these 4 wells that used to have kind of like stuff built around them, but it's kind of eroded up after a way. But they're just slowly overflowing and trickling water into this swamp around it. You definitely get like a aura of like a magic thing about them, but you don't really see any way that they're supposed to be turned off just by looking at them. And that's probably all you would know without like making a test or something. But
okay, I mean, I'm willing to make a test because magic is sort of my thing as a caster.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I'd say discern or lore could fit into like knowing the history of what this type of stuff is. Which other one you feel fits better about how you're approaching looking into it?
Let's do maybe lore, as if maybe there's some sort of magic in that nature I've heard of. What would our context be?
It would be arcane, specifically for these.
Dang, I do not have that one.
I was thinking it's going to be common.
I guess it could be wild too. Arcane or wild.
No.
Oh my. That's impressive. You didn't get any successes or hexes with that many dice, though. That's amazing.
Amazingly bad.
Yeah. You are. So I'll say, if you want to know more about it, there might be like, maybe like documentation or something somewhere in the shop, but like just studying it directly, you're like, I'm not super familiar with this. Seems to be not a very common kind of magic. Like you've heard of people that have enchanted wells and things before, but you don't really know much beyond that.
I need to find the README or something like that.
The owner's manual. Yeah.
Find the magic. There's got to be like a sigil or something somewhere, probably, just to. Maybe I'll have John's character come help me.
Sure.
I would say you would know that much. There is probably like a sigil somewhere in the well that it's based off of. If you were like trying to totally destroy it, then you could do it that way.
But not yet. It'd be nice to do this, in a less destructive way, in case someday someone wants to make beer again.
Yeah,
by the book.
That's right.
By the book.
Yeah, I'd say if you're looking at like in a different place or something, you can make another discern or lore test.
Sure.
Or observe. See, that works too.
In this case, let's maybe do observe, since I'm looking for documentation. Which I roll less dice for.
Owner's manual.
That's right.
So you've bought a 4 magical well system.
Yep. Wow.
Is that even possible? Like
3,
mathematically?
4, 5, 6, 12, 17. You rolled 23 times and didn't get a 6. You got a 1.
I'll use my. Well, no. Let's just go ahead and take a point of damage from it. It's fine.
I'll say
I was gonna cheat fate, maybe, but
I'll say with that, even getting
fuck.
The duality of man.
So this is what Slipknot was singing about.
I don't even.
You're like poking around. There's like a fish that bites you on the finger. It's like very good. Zap
23 times and I can't get a 6 and 2 dice, 2 6s.
Amazing.
Oh, damn.
Oh my god. Chuck, you instantly find.
Oh, I wasn't even trying to do anything. I was just testing if the dice roller still works.
You trip on. No, Chuck, take it.
I'll take it. I'm doing something.
Yeah, I thought you were doing just like also a search. I was gonna say with those 2 successes, you find like a drawer that does have like yieldy service manual for these.
Yeah.
Rutherford was just looking for something for wiping because he had to go, and then he just happened to walk past.
Yeah.
The car.
No, actually, I was looking for something for that's all she go to snack on. And I found this. I'm like, hey, this says something about important?
Yeah. So yeah, you find this little pamphlet, and it says like, "Congratulations on your new 4-part well," and it's got like this little brochure. There's some like drawings here and there within it. It shows like these mages casting all sorts of like little spells and these little infographics on it. And within that, you find that there are a few different like incantations to start and stop the wells, and they just will perpetually run. And it looks like they're quite expensive because not only are they pulling water up from the ground, but they're also like purifying it and like adding things to it. Like they've put a ton of work crafting this water to be perfect for their brewing. So
I would
All
like
right, everybody, fill up your canteens with this good water before we turn it off.
Okay. I would like to throw out there, just with Dan's rolling luck, he does get the GM bonus tonight.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Yeah, that was impressive.
That is impressive. Absolutely impressive.
I feel mixed about this, that it's impressively bad.
It's good though.
That's fair.
Got a laugh out of me. So that's where the GM moved. Yeah, so you find these incantations. If you want, you can speak them and it'll shut the water off. They're pretty long and they're not in like a common tongue, but it shows like the pronunciation with it too on the manual.
So even got the phonetics.
Say them. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Beginner's guide to turning off wells.
Mm-hmm. So you speak those words.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. You speak those words, and it gets like a little bit dark in the room. There was like this slight kind of glow coming from the wells while they were on that you didn't even really notice until it's gone. But now it's just slightly dark in the room. You don't hear like that trickling of water anymore, and the kind of evens out a bit.
All right. Well, maybe this place will dry out after a little while and be less swampy.
Okay.
And then whatever terrifying things living in the water can die on the land.
There you go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
Speaking of, as soon as this turns off, you see lots of things quickly dart away from these wells and just through the water and go out around and leave this room.
Okay.
As long as they...
Again, there's like lots of little algae and things like it's not clear water here for you to look through and see, but you do see like lots of movement and stuff kind of like kicked up into the water, pulling away.
Well, as long as they're not, attacking me, it's a good start.
Doesn't seem to be, no.
It should be.
You hear a very loud voice of Cypress yelling out, "Find Minton."
We should probably do that.
Yeah, he seems impatient. Despite his slow pace, he seems very impatient.
We could set fire to his house if need be. So I'm not.
You don't really get like a angry tone. You get more of like a somber tone from him. The way he's like asking about it.
Soon to be wood chips.
Distressed.
I get my axe. No.
Well, we should kill this bird.
Yeah.
Or
I'd like to kill the bird, just on general principle.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing. Killing the bird.
If we find a cat skeleton, perfect. We did our job.
Or if the cat's very truly invulnerable, maybe it's regenerating its nest or something and continuously being eaten.
Which would be horrendous.
Yeah. Either way, we should do something.
So
Agreed.
On these windows you found with a good line of sight, like we could just try and snipe it.
You see like the top of the nest, but not like into the nest.
Okay.
Are you suggesting to burn this whole place down, Chuck?
I don't think I was saying that.
Well, that's a good option. We'll keep that in mind.
Okay. I mean, that's definitely something to consider. I think there's
it's never something to not consider.
Yeah.
And I mean, there would be the risk that even if we could hit it from here, from the windows, and thinking about it now, it could just like land on the roof and start trying to come in that way or something.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be able to do squat about it.
Okay. Well, at least the animals are safe. We can sneak on up.
All right.
Okay.
I think we should make some sort of protective barrier. So perhaps some makeshift wooden umbrellas.
Sure.
In case our faces.
I'd say there's plenty of like empty crates and things.
Just gonna wear little barrels with little boards knocked out as helmets.
Absolutely, that's a fantastic idea. Yeah, I'll get my wooden Crusaders helmet going.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, while you're doing that,
we're about to get real Minecrafty in here.
Yeah, we are.
Start punching trees, gentlemen.
I'm gonna there's a bunch of vines and shit all over. I'm gonna make a net.
Okay. Yeah.
That's some
for sure.
brand skills.
Yeah, I'll say do you like a mend? Say probably mend, or if there's like a different skill, or I guess craft would work too. Or if there's like a different skill, maybe to like collecting it that you want to levy, something like that.
Okay.
Any skill that you could levy towards any part of the process of crafting it. I'll let you roll with.
Yeah, I can't think anything, so I'm just gonna go with mend. And I don't have mend. Would you say this is urban or common?
It is wild and common.
Oh, I get a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, this whole brewery is wild and common for most things.
Common like all the ones today.
Mm-hmm. Oh. You know what? I'm not going to get hurt with mental, so yeah, I'm going to push that shit. All right, I pull a success.
Hey, there you go. One success. All right. Yeah, you make a decent net with it. It's probably not strong enough to like fully restrain it or something, but it's definitely enough to like annoy it and give you guys an edge. Like,
yeah,
it'll buy you time as it's trying to tear through it. Feel pretty confident about that. All right. Yeah, you have a net made up.
Okay. Well, you got your helmets. We got a net.
Yep. There's barrels and crates and things that for sure you guys can use. There's lots of them that are empty. Looks like a lot of them are overturned. There's some random broken bottles here and there from people that have been like hastily looting at some point.
So, guys, I heard about this old story about this soldier that like had to sneak in to like the enemy base, and he had to do it super sneaky, and like the guy's name was like something to do with like a cobra or a rattlesnake, or I don't remember what his actual name was, but he snuck inside of a box as his cover. Sneak up there in a box.
Solid plan.
Solid plan.
There it is.
Could do that.
Who's gonna do it?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
This hill nest is on top of it.
That's our big boss right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say like you don't see the bird poking up above it. The nest is pretty tall, so like it's not like it's sitting there like a sentry, like looking around. It might poke up every so often, but like inside the nest, you don't really see outside of it too well, unless you're deliberately trying to. So as long as you're not making a ton of noise, feel like might be able to inch your way closer and closer to it. Definitely not impossible.
Would it be possible to go up one of the trees to get like a better line on the nest?
Yeah, absolutely. There's these giant thick like trees all over the place that have grown. A lot of them are kind of like similar trees to.
I'm gonna try to climb up a tree and kind of, conceal myself in there. Hopefully,
like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, all we gotta do is just be careful as we like a snake through this liquid.
Indeed.
Right. If you want to do, there's like enough. These trees are pretty big, and there's enough like vines and moss and stuff that it's not hard to climb up it.
Okay.
And it's far enough away that you're probably not making enough sound that it could even really see you from over there. But those of you that are sneaking up the side of this hill to approach it, who all's doing that?
I will.
I'm just gonna regular sneak up.
Okay.
And what is it? T-Dorf 67. Thank you for the follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
So
Sovereign Bohemian has showed back up.
John's climbing a
Thanks for that
tree.
Oh, my.
Chuck and Al, Jake are going to be sneaking up the side. Dan and Alex, what are you guys doing?
Just getting fist ready.
Yeah,
Squaring up.
Yeah.
Stance.
Yeah, I'm planning to take advantage of my warp to close in, so.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just getting, I'd say you probably have to leave a little, well, yeah, I'll say like from, because you pretty much just have to be able to see where you want to warp to. So if you're positioning yourself out in the open, kind of, or like you've got a good side of the hill and in sight, you'd definitely be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out,
Guys,
Yeah.
how I'm going to engage with it.
Lollygaggers have raided us. Everybody act cool.
Uh-oh, that's a pop.
What's up, dudes? How's it going?
Hey. Raid.
We are at a brewery, and
we're gonna go fight a bird.
Yeah, they're gonna go fight a big vulture, evil bird that killed Cat. Allegedly.
Bird man.
Allegedly. More than likely.
Yep.
Not Big Bird from Sesame Street, though. Different Big Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More like Big Bird's angry cousin.
Yeah.
Steve.
Violent cousin.
Steve Bird. He's a dick.
Bird.
Jailbird. But yeah, so those of you that are sneaking, I'll take your conceal tests. So you try to make your way up without alerting anyone.
Okie dokie.
And Jake, I'll say actually you get an advantage die, so you can add 1 to your modifier for having that.
Would you say this is common or urban?
It is common or wild.
Nice.
I gotta step away real quick. I may have heard my cat detection system go off.
Oh no!
Oh my! Okay. Go and investigate.
Ooh. Oh, God, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
I just had to roll once. Wow. And I got 4.
Shit.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Chuck, you vanish. You're like finding perfect places to. There's like little bits of shrubbery here and there that you're able to perfectly hide behind and inch your way up.
You live by the creed of the assassin as you move through.
Yeah. Yeah, you see a path all the way up to the nest that's concealed that you're going along. And Jake, you're going up, you get 1 success. Every here and there you like stumble a little bit, and you plop your crate down and you pick up and keep moving.
And you'll probably also say sneak, 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 sneak.
Yes.
I'm just an ordinary box.
Yep.
What?
I'll say, Jake, with your 1 success, you're able to get like to the side of the nest. Cool. Chuck, you're able to get like all the way up to the nest and peer inside of it if you want with that many successes.
Yes, I do.
Can I see it from my perch in the tree?
You can. You're about like level with where the top of the nest is. So if it were to poke up and start attacking, you'd be able to see it and hit it from there.
Okay.
You can't see like into it right from this angle. But yeah, you see them going up the side of the hill. Chuck, as you approach very stealthily, you make it up to the edge. It's this very like gnarly kind of twisted roots and things that are all made into this giant nest. You see, as you get close to it too, there's lots of like bone and animal carcasses and furs and things that have also been kind of woven into this nest as well.
Okay.
In addition to a lot of wood and things. But as you poke up, and you're able to find like a big enough kind of gap in part of the edge of this nest that you're able to look through safely from around, like from the ground. You look through and you see there's a vulture. It's really gnarly looking vulture. Its beak is kind of like long, and it's not like cylindrical the whole way. It kind of narrows to a point at one end, and it's got this like weird, almost spirally kind of like break in it where it would open up, and it's missing like feathers here and there. There's bits of its skin that are kind of exposed. You see bits of muscle underneath it. It looks pretty beat up.
Okay.
And you see there's lots of eggs that look pretty big that are so like spotted here and there, and there's bits of like moss and things that have been thrown on them that they're like partially buried. You see lots of white fluff all over the place, and you hear it talking. Seems to be muttering to itself.
The bird?
The bird. And
not what I expected.
It's kind of like it's taking steps here and there as you're sitting there, and you're close enough, and all those successes. You'll also get this bit. So it seems like kind of confused, like it's moving its head around, but it's not looking for anything like outside of the nest. It seems to be like looking for something inside the nest. And every time it takes a step, you hear a little bit of a jingle, like a bell or something, and it gets very confused. And it says, "Where jingle? Where jingle?" And keeps stepping. It's very like angrily looking around, and every so often it'll like poke its beak into part of the nest and tear it up a little bit. And it's just frantically searching for this. And every time it makes like a sharp movement or something, you hear this like high-pitched bell.
Yeah. I know what happened.
Do we need to set the cat free from its insides?
Speaking of cat.
There's cat.
There's a cat.
Yeah, I don't have a good way to convey that. I can convey it with owl, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Turn back towards Lonan's perk and like do like sign language. Be like,
go poop? Because your butthole's wobbling.
yeah. You know what? Does everyone, like, I look around, does everyone look to be, like, in position?
Yeah.
I'm just going to whisper through the nest. Hey, I know where that jingling's coming from.
You say that, and it perks, and it like turns its head, because its eyes are like kind of on the side of its head. Mm-hmm. So it looks around for a little bit, and then the side of its head, you see an eye like kind of slowly look to where you're at, Chuck. And it looks confused. It walks over. You hear it jingling with every step, and it pecks through part of the nest. It says, "Who speak?"
I speak. Did you know that you can speak now too?
Yes, I speak. I speak now.
It's because you ate
sharp rat. See more. Hear more. Think more.
Yeah, it's because you ate the sharp rat.
Sharp rat.
That's what you called it. It's actually called a cat.
I do not know cat.
Cat is sharp rat.
Sharp rat cat.
Yeah. Anyway.
Had sharp hands, sharp feet, sharp mouth.
Yeah.
Ate sharp rat.
Yeah, it
Think
had.
More.
What? I'm glad you're thinking more. It's a great thing to do. Yeah, that jingling's inside you.
In your heart.
Because you ate the sharp rat, and the sharp rat had a bell on it, and you ate the bell.
Maybe,
so now when you
maybe
move,
the bell is enchanted.
yeah,
And that's
it's
what's in your
the
heart.
whole cow situation. Mucifer. It's exactly
remember
what it
Lucifer.
is.
I don't know what Lucifer is.
You were there for it, Joe. The cow I had that was angry and had the medallion
What?
that was sentient.
Wanted us to murder the farmer.
Yeah.
Was I there for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Sure you were.
the same campaign where you got cut in half with a transporter.
Oh, okay.
Just later.
It's a little later than that.
Oh, I do remember that. Was it the farmer that got attacked by all the like crows too?
No, different farmer.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sounds vaguely familiar.
yeah.
Yeah.
The jingly that you ate that was on the cat is now inside of you where your food goes.
Sharp cat.
Before, yeah. And so that's why when you move, you jingle.
Why jingle?
Because the thing you ate jingles and it's inside of you.
Why sharp cat jingle?
Because sharp cats have a lovely fashion sense and they like to wear what's known as jewelry, decorations to make yourself look nicer and prettier.
How stop jingle?
I can help you stop the jingle if you want. I just have to take the jingle out of you.
How take jingle out?
Well, I have to go in through your stomach. It'll be a small cut. And
Sound
then
sharp.
It is sharp. It is. It won't be entirely
like
pleasant. I can try. There's an ancient healing technique known as massage, where I can try and force the thing that's jingling up out of your stomach and back out of your mouth. Like, you know how you can feed chicks, like your young, your babies, by food that's in your stomach, you force it out and then they eat it out of your mouth.
Do vultures do that?
All birds do that, Joe. It's the law. It was signed by a
The government.
it was
Bird law, obviously.
Birds are
it
real,
was
just
an
made by governments.
executive decree. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, signed by Obama back in '97.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. Before then, birds just, went to the store and bought infant formula like every other civilized animal.
Yeah.
It's a story.
I guess
they
you
ruined it.
The
Yeah.
dried puke in the can, yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, you've given it two solutions. One of them will be much more difficult to convince it of.
So my goal
That
here
might be better for you.
My goal here is to try and leverage the terrible solution to make the not terrible solution easier to convince it of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you want to try to like cough up the bell.
I want to try and convince it that I have to kind of massage it in a way to allow it to cough up the bell.
Okay.
That's when he'll murder it instead. Right?
Shh, don't tell my secret, Stan.
This whole time I thought you had said that the bell was on like the talon or something, like around the leg.
Did you
I would say
that?
like at this point too,
Doesn't matter where it's actually at.
everyone else sees that Chuck is talking to this vulture at this point. It's like its head's poked up enough at the edge, and it's like looking at him.
And look, I'm very tiny. I'm smaller than you, I think. Like, there's not a chance I could hurt you. And I'm not even sharp. Look, my hands aren't sharp. My teeth aren't sharp. I can't hurt you. But I can help you stop that jingle.
And as you're talking about, like, as you say, like, hurting it and being sharp to it, you see its beak kind of like part and it's got this gnarly, like, spiked tongue.
Yeah.
It's also circular inside of it.
See, I don't have anything like
back.
that. Like, look, my tongue, it's soft and fleshy and squishy. All I would ask is that if I help you stop the jingle, that you please don't eat me.
What ancestry? What ancestry are you?
Halfling.
Halfling. Okay.
Snack size,
As they're
basically.
looking at you, and you say, "Remind me of bigger, look like you."
Yeah.
I eat a 4 sharp rat.
See?
Sharp cat.
Sharp cat. Yep. And I'm smaller. If you could eat that, imagine how dangerous you are to me. So I will help
kind of stomps a little bit.
I will gladly help you if you promise that while I'm here in the area, you won't eat me.
Stop jingle.
Stop jingle. All right, come on down here.
And it kind of cautiously, it like looks back to where its eggs are. It looks at you. It does that thing again. It seems to be like, as it's thinking over, like wanting to kill you again, you see its beak part and its tongue kind of do this weird thing with all the sharp bits of it that are sticking out. But it snaps back closed and steps up at the edge of its nest and says, Where's Stop Jingle?
Come down. It's called massage, and I'm gonna help you move the jingle into a position where it can be, we can remove it through your mouth. You'll cough it up.
Okay.
Sound like a good deal?
Opens its wings and it flaps once. There's like a huge, powerful like burst of air as it jumps once. It lands next to you. Jake, you see this like through the hole in your your barrel as you're right next to it.
Yeah, I've got my axe ready.
Sitting there. You also see this too as this vulture jumps out and it's got its like wings kind of opened at Chuck, but it seems to be furling them back in.
Okay.
And confused, like looking back and forth with each side of its head at you there, Chuck.
Okay. All right. So let me help you by doing this massage. God, phone, shut up. I need you. I'm going to move around behind you. And I need you to open your wings. And I'm going to massage you on the lower sides to help push the jingle up into a spot where you can cough it out.
It thinks for a little bit. And it parts its wings.
Okay.
Steps forward a little bit.
And I will carefully...
It's able to twist its head quite a bit back around behind itself, and it's very intently staring at you.
Yeah.
Over its back.
Oh, I didn't think this through. Okay. I am now behind it.
Is it upright?
It should be standing.
Okay.
Yes, it's like standing with its wings up. There's like a little bit of a breeze too over here, so every so often it's kind of like teetering a little bit because its wings are unfurled.
I am sighting in and taking aim.
Okay.
I'm waiting for like a the unagreed upon signal.
I was so ready to pop out of this box until it turned its head around.
I'm waiting to hear get her.
Get him. That's right. Yeah. I mean, really.
It's a vulture. Signal. It's got like this pretty long neck that its head's on, so it's able to like pretty dexterously look behind itself.
So I want to analyze my situation here. Do I think I could whip out my net and net it before it has a chance to face eat me?
I think so, because it has enough ability to look at you, but not to like bite you. from there. It would have to. It'd have to like pull its wings back in and move. Like you feel like you'd probably be able to throw your net before it does that.
Okay, so I'm gonna get behind it. Like I'll start like kind of poking here, moving some things around gently, not wanting to. And then want to snatch the net,
earning
throw it
that
over
trust.
Every so often when you poke it, its beak parts a little bit again, but then
I'll be like, hey,
relaxes.
it's fine. It's fine. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. I have a lot of experience with tending to the well-beings of creatures of all variety. Like it's cool. I got you. This
and then net.
and then net.
Okay.
Net and then dive for cover.
As soon as I see that net go, I'm firing.
Let's see. It's probably a ranged test to like make the net spread.
Am fine with that.
I would say either ranged or dexterity.
I'm going to take ranged. Yeah, I'm going to take ranged.
Yeah, you're a little better with that.
I'm a lot better with that.
Yeah. And with like how close you are to it and you being behind it, it's just like a standard difficulty.
Okay. So Joe, would you say I'm not using any swift actions for this? Or would you say I am using a swift action as part of this?
You're not technically in an encounter yet. So
damn it,
swift action stuff doesn't come into place until you're like,
how dare you?
Okay.
But that may be to your advantage.
Talking to
also.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Because you're wanting to use priority, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that he would not be able to use that then?
It's not an encounter.
No.
Priority is encounter only.
Only in an encounter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. During an encounter.
And push. All right.
Ooh.
I take 2 hurt.
Okay.
3 successes. I got a point of armor.
Yeah. And so definitely like you throw this net out and you get it like perfect and it spins and one of its talons like kick up and just claw you a little bit in your arm.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that 2 damage. But this net goes over it. And it just it gets super angry. It lets out this horrible like screeching thing. Its beak pulls open. Its tongue's like thrashing around. It's trying to bite through this. Its wings are frantically, but it looks like it'll hold for just a little bit. The rest of you see this thing kind of starting to spaz out underneath its net. And it's
time
just
to enact
saying
the plan.
It's
like you said, as soon as I saw that net go, I was going to fire.
Lies. Bad massage.
I've got 1 star on Yelp. What the fuck do you expect?
I can give you half star.
All right, yeah, we'll say that started an initiative. Whoever wants to, or started the encounter. So anyone that wants to do initiative, do your standard physical saving throw. Or you can just take middle of the round.
I'm not gonna push.
I have to push. I'm too close not to push.
I will push it.
Okay.
Ooh, there we go.
All right.
Sweet. Okay.
All right. Sorry. I'm having a hard time finding my thing here.
You're fine.
What am I doing wrong here? I got a 6, but
yeah, you got a 6. So it looks like was that a roll for me as well, John? So it looks like Chuck, Jake, and Dan all get to go first.
Yep.
Wait, John.
So you're all able to act as things.
Yeah.
Kind of flailing. Yeah.
Oh. My cat just tried to jump on me and didn't make it, but the claws did.
Correction.
So it started falling off with the claws in my legs.
Sharp rat.
Yes, my sharp rat.
Yeah.
My bad.
Sharp rat.
Hey there, Oak, and thank you for those bits, Sovereign Bohemian. Those are nice. Did Lonan get a chance to pull that trigger before initiative started when I threw that net?
I'll say. I mean, yeah, probably would, because like he was sighted in. He did say that you were like aiming sighted in. So yeah, I'll say you got your one shot off. And that's why we'll say that's why you're going last too. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So make your one attack roll.
What is the context for this, and is this
wild or common?
Wild or common.
And it is a ranged attack.
Yep.
Okay, you got your one hit. Did you have the stats for that rifle? I think
I do.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Great. Roll your damage, your impact.
All right. I was gonna see about. I'm gonna try.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh God!
Oh my!
Oh,
I was wanting to save some of these for later, but I did go ahead and take the advancement of cheat fate. And I rolled 2 3s. So I want to save one of them in case Joe gets successes.
Want to? It's fine. I can take it. I'm big boy.
I want to keep one of them in case Joe gets successes, but you can take one of your fails out.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. Okay. So, but there's still a success in there. So there's that. And what I'm thinking is I fired and still not quite fully used to a rifle, and I just kind of fall out of the tree.
Yeah, I'll say yeah. I was gonna say either it like kind of blows up on you, like there's some.
I was thinking
backfire.
recoil and you just smack yourself in the face.
That too. I wasn't gonna like damage the gun, but yeah, you falling out that works too.
It sounds funnier.
Recoils, knocks you, and you splash into the water, dealing 4 or 3 physical damage as Dan throws one of his cheat fate dice in to help with that.
Thank you, Dan. That also explains why I'm going last in initiative.
Yeah, you have to pick yourself up there. But yeah, so between Jake and Chuck and Dan, whoever wants to go first.
I can if we want.
That's fine by me.
Because I was gonna use my ritual warp to just
burn his house down.
Yeah,
and then
we can too
use priority so I can get an advantage die on my attack.
You are right. This is about sending a message.
It is.
It is. Do that.
Nice thing. Burn his house down. We've also got eggs to eat that are already cooked after.
Hard boiled.
I don't know if they would be hard boiled because they're not
just roasted eggs.
Roasted eggs.
Roasted eggs.
Yeah. Fried eggs.
Fried eggs.
There we go.
Yeah. Fried eggs.
I wonder if those would explode.
But yeah. So the warp, pretty much any ability or anything that doesn't specify what action it uses doesn't need an action. So you are able to use warp because it doesn't say it's like a swift action or something. And then priority is as long as you don't use your 2 swift actions, you get an advantage die. So you're able to blink up there. It's within sight.
Yep. And our contexts.
Common or wild.
Okay.
It should be common.
And I'm trying to remember how the advantage die works.
So when you do the roll, like when it prompts with the macro, just add 1 to the modifier.
Okay. All right.
That adds 1 die to that pool. 1 success. That's still good. Oh. 3 successes. All right. I'm assuming this is like your melee cantrip.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Great. So yeah, you'll take 2 damage. This thing's still kind of flailing around, so one of its talons kind of catches you. Kind of accidentally too. It's like it's not ready for you to be there. But roll that damage to your impact. 3 of your dice.
I wanted to take lucky or whatever it was so that I could roll that wall or explode the one, but I didn't have enough XP yet.
You'll see. Were you going to say something, John?
Yeah. Did I need to roll damage impact for my for my one success?
Yeah. Okay. You should have. Yep. My bad.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I'll take
it. You did it almost as much as I did with one die.
Take it all.
That's fine. But let me track this here.
All that cool action I did for one more point of damage across 3 dice.
You surprised yourself a little bit. It all happened a lot faster than even you were expecting.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And Chuck, you are right on this thing.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to move very much
Really?
away.
Don't do that to me.
Out of hurtful range. And then I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah. You can do so.
Yeah.
Moving is a swift action, so you don't get priority again.
Don't get my fancy, but that's fine.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna push.
Oh man!
Shit.
Oh my gosh!
Bird's gonna kill us doing nothing.
Yeah, this thing catches you, so it's flailing around and its beak pokes through and takes a good stab into your shoulder as you're trying to get a shot on it and you're running away. Take 4 physical damage.
Yeah. Ow.
But you can check that you have a failed roll.
Yes, I can.
Yep.
Aim.
Okay, that's Chuck and Jake, you haven't gone yet.
Yep.
You're in your barrel. You're ready.
I will throw the crate off and try to come at it with my hand axe.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
The
I'll say
biggest
that's
surprise of them all.
Swift action to move. You jump out. One success.
I'll push it. Hey,
Okay.
There we go.
Nice.
1 physical damage. So yeah, one of the strands of this net just catches you in the head, but you're able to get your attack off. What are you attacking with here?
Hand axe.
Hand axe.
Or
okay.
I guess throwing axe, but
yeah, as a melee. So yeah, roll 2 damage dice for that as your impact. 4. Okay. That is enough to put it at, it's like you've gone through its health at this point, and now it's like at its last hit. So it's flailing around. It's and the morale of this thing, kind of what it does, with it being trapped in the net, and you guys just about to kill it, it's going to start screeching at you guys and say why attack, talk, think more. And
no thanks.
That's what it's doing on its turn too, as it gets to it.
It's trying to roll a
Alex,
charisma
it's now
check.
your turn.
You killed Big Friend.
Burn his house out.
I think I need to melee him.
Yeah.
And I already know that this is a common context. So I'm going to check that.
You still have to ask, though.
Oh, yeah. Is this a common
Yeah.
context?
Yes,
It's important.
Common and wild.
They always are. So
That's why you rolled over, Chuck. You didn't ask.
Oh, shit. That's my
No
fault.
success. So automatically it's dead. This doesn't have the deal where it's tenacious enough to get its full health bar back once it runs out. It's just at 1 HP once it runs out. So you get that 1 success, that's enough, and you just end it. It's barking at you guys. What do you do for your final blow on this?
Oh, yeah.
Surfman was my friend.
Yeah. I feel like I just calmly walk up and 1-inch punch, and it just splits down the middle.
Nice.
It's your time. This is what I've been waiting for.
You have a punch, it's flailing around, but you're able to connect with it. You hit it right in its chest. You feel part of it break. And it slumps over. Beak parts, this weird, disgusting tongue kind of flops and it dies. You hear it jingle a bit as it's settling there on the ground.
The monks taught me that.
You've killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to get
out of the water.
Let's go get ourselves.
You pull yourself up.
We should definitely retrieve that jingly bell.
Yeah,
At a minimum. Maybe there's still a cat.
Maybe there's the cat.
We can give it to another cat, and
or hear me out. I mean, I don't think that brewery's doing nothing from here on out, right?
Right.
So what if maybe we could convince Cypress and then to come with us, and maybe we could put the jingly bell on one of our animals to pet? Huh?
Take a split of the profit.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay,
let's just start by seeing what's inside first.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
While Garrett is finishing, the explosion punch, also, just throwing it out there. We don't know the full powers of this bell, and you did say that you saw some tufts of fur. Like, what if we just put the bell on some of that fur? Maybe the rest of the cat will grow
just
back.
regrow a cat.
Yeah.
We'll just gather up enough of the fur and just...
I have seen Wolverines do it before. I don't see why this cat couldn't.
You should probably get it out of that bird before it regenerates.
I've seen the Wolverine do it.
I'll chop it with my axe.
You chop at it again. But yeah, whoever wants to, I guess you can cut into it like what was it called, tauntaun style.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm gonna flay it.
I'm not even gonna make you guys roll for it. Like, this is a huge bird, and so you slice into it.
Gareth, there's some eggs in that nest, by the way, if you want to destroy them mercilessly.
There were 4 eggs in the nest. All pretty large.
We gotta get over there and just...
I punch them. I go punch them.
You punch them. Yeah. You see
lines them all up and just karate chops through all
little. It looks like they were away from hatching, but you do see
what is that, balloons?
The beginnings of these creatures inside of them, but they're definitely dead now.
It's your time.
Yeah. Just cook them up. We can have real big balut.
Ooh, it just dawned on me. There's eggs here. I'm really hoping they're not mated pairs that mate for life or something.
I can continue to bash the children.
I didn't say anything about that.
Leaving a message.
He's coming after the younglings.
Quick, get some sand.
I'm an agent of chaos.
Mr. Skywalker.
No, that was wrong. He was never a master.
That was the other part of it.
Mm-hmm.
What did that kid say then?
He said master.
That's
why he had to die.
Yeah.
He just eat lots of people and things. Maybe there's loot in here too.
Oh shit.
So you cut this open. The thing that jumps out to you the most for sure is this collar, because it's in pristine condition. The bell is even still shiny. It doesn't look like there's any gore or viscera on it somehow. And actually, now that you're kind of looking at the bird almost closer, it's kind of weird because the bird is cleaner than you would think a bird would be. Its feathers look cleaned in some places. There's parts where it was injured and such, but it almost looked like the bits of it that weren't injured were groomed somehow. Yeah, you see this bell. You see that it is around the carcass that is partially dissolved of a cat. Its back legs are very kind of messed up. Parts of its tail's missing. You don't see any fur or anything on it, but it's skeleton still intact. There's still meat on it, but it's very
maybe that's good enough.
Goopy, kind of dissolved.
So. Let's go rinse it off.
Let's rinse it off. Yeah.
to drag
If
it
it
out.
starts
It, like,
screaming in pain, then I suppose we could.
Well, we'll take some of the cat fur, just
Salt Bay, some cat fur on it.
bam.
Spice it up a bit with a bit of cat fur.
That's right.
You're
That's
welcome.
pretty much how all my meals are at home.
You guys see that?
And we'll hit with the spice weasel.
As you're rooting around in there too, you see the face of Ballastar is like a conical cutout of his head that's still like kind of intact and dead. It's like eyes are kind of bloodshot and messed up and very horrific. But that's in there. And then you see lots of other like kind of bodies that have very much more like broken down than this cat body has. Don't really see like any loot or anything like hard in there though. This seems to be like only this collar is like the only like material non-biological thing that it's eaten.
I'll try to fish the cat out of there and see if putting the collar on it does anything.
The collar is still on it.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, I'll just fish out the collar.
No, we need the whole cat.
So,
All right, fine.
Cat
I'll
with
fish
collar.
out the entire cat and
Rinse the cat off, put the collar on. We'll watch it for like 30, 40 minutes, see if it's like regrowing. And then we'll make plans from there.
Maybe we can regrow Battlestar Galactica too.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know. The last time we tried to heal him, it went badly.
You did explode most of what was left of him, so...
I mean, can he regrow from the center of his face?
But he was infected, so technically wouldn't his face be infected too?
But that happened after he died, I think.
I think we'll...
That is...
Let's start with the cat.
It's like,
cat.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yeah, you pull the cat out. The cat seems... Because you guys remember what Cypress told you was that this cat disappeared weeks ago.
Right.
And it's much more intact than it should be for having sat in this thing's like stomach acid for weeks.
It shouldn't
so
feel right.
Yeah. So you pull it out. You're able to dunk it in the water a little bit, get some of that acid off. It's very like messed up and stuff. It's pretty gross. A little oozy. Some of the flesh is kind of falling off of it here and there too. But the skeleton's like mostly intact. And you guys just kind of set it out and wait. I'm assuming. Yeah. And kind of like watching paint dry, you don't really see anything as you're looking at it. Is there anything else that you guys are messing with in the meantime?
I could try and cast Mend on it.
Do it.
Good.
Well, I'll help this along.
It'll be a really clean, nasty cat body.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and push it.
Hey.
Ooh, successes.
Okay. So you strain yourself a little bit. Nothing like hurts you from it, but you just kind of feel like physically drained as you're pouring yourself into this casting. So you get that 1 damage from that. But 2 successes is pretty good. So as you're looking at this cat body and it's been like rinsed off and such, you put your healing magic into it. And doing that, it responds pretty well to it. You see its bones kind of uncrack themselves. Like you set its skeleton better in place.
Yeah, we just got to kickstart the process.
Yeah. With that, you see it looks like it's more intact and it's much more my cat's attacking. It's much more like whole looking as you do that. See the muscle is slowly starting to like reattach itself in certain places too. It's bonding back, filling itself in here and there, but at a pretty slow rate. But it does appear to be like regenerating.
Hooray. We're
Hooray.
cat saviors.
Woohoo! I soon shall arise. Oh, shoot.
I will put the cat in the box that I was hiding in.
So one thing I feel like you guys would know, just as general world lore too, resurrection's possible, but it's a little taboo. Because most of the time when people get resurrected and they come back, they're not really all the same. Just usually like trauma or something. A lot of people claim that it's like not even the same person at all that came back. Like they're so different that like some different soul came in. Even though they claim to have the same memories and stuff, like there's just a lot of weirdness around it.
I mean, like I imagine that getting made dead is probably an unpleasant experience.
Yeah. So
especially it's Pet Cemetery. It was probably swallowed whole while still alive.
A
little bit of that.
Typical Ra's al Ghul scenario.
Yeah,
we all know
it's not like other settings where like, oh, you got resurrected, you're just back, no strings attached, nothing. Like it's a little bit of a toll taken on you. Resurrecting pets and animals is not typically done either. They don't typically take to it at all. Usually, like the stronger the soul is, the easier it is to redo it. And animal souls typically don't want to come back. Healing is a sign that it does, but it'd be pretty abnormal to see like a animal return back in this way.
Possibly we'll have to kill it again.
So
what's going on?
I would say you would all have that kind of in the back of your head, like this isn't done a lot. It might be a little weird.
Standing
Who
over
knows?
Yeah, weird's what we do.
Spit shining them knuckles.
Yeah, it does seem to be regenerating. Looks the pace that it's regrowing, like you don't see any skin on it yet, but its muscle seems to be kind of pulling itself back together. So you're not exactly sure how long it'll take. Probably another few hours.
Do we want to like not take him back to Cyprus just yet in case we have to kill it?
Yeah. I really agree with that.
Because then we'd have to fight him too, I think.
Wait, how long do we think this is going to take now?
A couple hours.
Few hours.
And
at this point in the day too, a few hours is probably going to be like right about when it gets to nighttime.
I put the safety on my handgun.
I'm kind of curious because looking at this place, clearly no one's been here in quite some time. Probably, and it seems like they've been alone for quite some time. Why?
People don't travel.
Cool.
They're not.
We can
cool.
ask Minton when Minton comes back.
True.
I mean, they're only a day or so from civilization.
I think it's because they're not cool.
Where are the other travelers gone?
Maybe Minton's an asshole. I don't know.
That's a possibility.
I mean,
like I said, not ruling out killing him still. Again.
Yeah.
And then we keep the fancy jingly bell necklace for ourselves.
Indeed.
So with that, I'll say you guys stake out and you're watching this cat slowly regenerate. It does continue to. Its muscles seem to be fully formed again. Its skin's starting to come back and fill in all the gaps. Bits of tufts of fur are starting to spread. Sun's getting darker. You smell the smell of all the broken up eggs and stomach acid from this bird and some unpleasantness. But there's kind of like a sweet aroma almost from all this swamp water too, which is a little strange.
I smell quite a bit of the swamp water.
It's gonna be nice when I hit a good one. When
you don't smell bad from the swamp water. Like it was, it's strange because it's this like very well purified, like almost magic water that's coming from the spring. So wasn't entirely unpleasant.
Not much muck.
Yep. Cypress is still kind of rooting around. He seems to almost just be kind of like in a loop, just searching everything inside the house. It seems like he's just very not used to Minton leaving the house. So he's just searching everything he can in there. You see him wandering from room to room to room. Every so often kind of like calling out for Minton. And as the sun's starting to set a little bit, it's kind of right on the horizon. You see the first bits of its paws start to twitch. It starts to breathe. Its mouth opens. It takes a breath. That's where we're going to cut it.
Oh,
That fist was about to come down.
Mhm.
We'll see how Minton the cat recovered next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
See what
I
he does with
bet
this good one.
he's back to his same old self. He's just gonna be great.
Oh, yeah.
Super great.
As a resurrected several 100-year-old cat, I'm sure he's fine.
I have a proposition for you.
Probably been through it a time or two. It's old hat.
New minions. What?
Would you like to make a deal?
I do feel that Mitten would probably benefit from, if he had a top hat.
Maybe a little cat monocle.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. Getting
A
fancy.
cane, with the little white tip like a magician's cane.
Yeah.
Cape. Oh,
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 yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Gotta have a cape.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's just deck him out with a full-on
villain.
little magician outfit.
yes.
Yeah.
Watch us saw this cat in half.
He's our
It's
busker.
magic.
If we can
It's not.
convince him and
I
Cypress to
saw
join the
this
petting
vulture in
zoo,
half.
they're our busker.
Oh, no.
They're our MC.
Yeah. But all right, that's our dealio here. We'll tune back in a week. We'll see Minton the cat coming back. We'll see if you guys relay this to Cypress or not. If he gets good news or bad news.
Yeah.
That's all gonna depend on Minton, really.
Yeah.
All right, you dead cat.
He's definitely out of the loop so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll pick it up there. So what else do we have going on in DOK, Chuck?
Advancement and experience points.
Oh, yeah. That is a thing that I always totally remember to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most important thing at
Mm-hmm.
the end.
It is. I remember to do that more often. Okay. Experience questions. You think I would know the rules to my own game?
Nah.
I think.
Did you guys participate in the session?
Yes.
Everyone did, obviously.
Nailed it.
Did you gain or remove any conditions? I think people took a lot of damage, but no one got quite enough to take a condition.
I don't think so.
Did you fail a roll or take harm from a push?
Yes, and yes.
Like most people did.
Yep.
Did you make progress on the story or objective? So yeah, this is kind of like a side quest, but you still learned a lot about it. And then did you earn a GM boon? Dan definitely did for his
statistical anomaly.
Did you roll
26
like
die.
23? Yeah. On top of that, you had another 2 fate dice that were also not 6s.
That's
Yes.
true.
That's a ridiculous amount of dice to roll.
I would like to make an argument for myself taking it because I did talk a murder bird into letting me give it a back massage.
That was definitely not how I expected you to approach that encounter. So I'm fine awarding
All right.
a GM for that.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
We did it.
It was, yeah. There was a few ways I pictured you guys deal with that, and that was not one of them.
Should have been.
We managed to subvert expectations again. Good job,
Yeah.
team.
We did it. We
Yeah.
did it.
Send the troops home.
Send them
That
home.
was a branch of the dialogue tree I did not foresee.
Yeah.
That's why they can never replace us.
Yeah. But all right, yeah, that's the XP. Anyone, if you have enough XP to buy anything at any time, you can. You can save up as much as you want. Be like Dan, save up like 17 something XP before you buy anything.
Yeah, I had to kind of get a vision for my character, and now I'm
Yeah, that's fair.
spending it out on lots of silly advancements so I can do silly things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
I was saving mine. I'm gonna buy a house with them.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is that on the list?
the XP house.
The XP house.
Yeah, if you get 100 XP, you get a house.
Get a house.
I do actually know a game where you can save up your XP and you can technically do that.
Yeah, the XP market is
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
Marcus going to the moon.
bad. Yeah.
Going to the moon.
Okay. So now.
Yes.
Now what do we have going on? Okay, Chuck.
Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central, over on twitch.tv/Goodman Games Official. Bert is running a chunk of us here through some weird frontiers. So check that out. Every Wednesday, we have our Dungeon Crawl Classics campaign, where we are playing through the 2nd edition adventure Night Below. So don't fucking miss that either. Next Friday, we're still early, so it's not the 27th yet. So next Friday, we'll be back for more of this. John, YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, the Defenders of Cobalt YouTube channel. We on Tuesdays and Thursdays, in addition to finding the VODs for all the stuff you see on Wednesdays and Fridays, Tuesdays and Thursdays we have episodes of our Oops All Goblins Pathfinder 2nd edition game. We're doing the Age of Ashes adventure path. We are nearing the end of book 1. I'm very excited about it because there's some things in store. So definitely come check it out if you like horny chaos goblins. That would be
All right.
That's all I got.
There you go. I think that's a great note to end on. Horny chaos goblins.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Back here 1 week. We'll do next episode of Anvea. See how this all wraps up. Thanks for watching, everybody. A lot of fun running this, and have a good night.
Goodbye.